Hey friends, welcome to Genesis chapter 13. We just got into the part where Abram uh, ended up going into the land of Egypt, and so that's where we're at, is in Egypt, and he just got sent away with him and his wife. So then Abram went up from Egypt, he and his wife and all that he had, and Lot with him, to the south. Abram was very rich in livestock, in silver, and in gold. So he had a lot of worldly possessions, right? And I would say that this was due to him listening to the Lord's commands, right? And we also see this in comparison to Lot, who um, had a little bit, and we'll see that in just a moment. And he went on his journey from the south as far as Bethel, to the place where his tent had been at the beginning, between Bethel and Ai, to the place of the altar which he had made there at first, and there Abram called on the name of the Lord. Lot also, who went with Abraham, not Abram, so Abram, had flocks and herds and tents. So he had a few things, right? Enough um, to live there, but it does not express that Lot had a whole bunch of wealth. And so what's interesting here, right, is that Lot was the one that had gone down to the plentiful, right, land of Sodom and Gomorrah, where the fields were beautiful and lush pastures. But Abram was the one that had faith in the Lord and walked in in obedience to His commands. And so, just wanted to point that out because it's not very obvious, but it's there. Now the land was not able to support them, that they might dwell together, for their possessions were so great that they could not dwell together. And there was strife between the herdsmen of Abram's livestock and the herdsmen of Lot's livestock. The Canaanites and the Perizzites then dwelt in the land. So Abraham said to Lot, Please, let there be no strife between you and me, and between my herdsmen and your herdsmen, for we are brethren. Is not the whole land before you? Please separate from me. If you take the left, then I will go to the right, or if you go to the right, then I will go to the left. And Lot lifted his eyes and saw all the plain of the Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere, before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, like the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt as you go towards Zoar. Then Lot chose for himself the plain of Jordan, and Lot journeyed east, and they separated from each other. Abram dwelt in the land of Canaan, and Lot dwelt in the cities of the plain, and pitched his tent even as far as Sodom. But then the men of Sodom were exceedingly wicked and sinful against the Lord. And the Lord said to Abraham, after Lot separated from him, Lift your eyes now, and look from the place where you are northward, southward, eastward, and westward. For all the land which you see I will give to you and your descendants forever. And I will make your descendants as the dust of the earth, so that if a man could number the dust of the earth, then your descendants could also be numbered. Arise, walk in the land through its length and its width, for I give it to you. Then Abram moved his tent and went and dwelt thereby terebinth trees of Mamre, which are in Hebron, and built an altar there to the Lord. And so here we see the Lord offer Abram a lot of this is a big deal back in their time, right? That Abram would have a great name and all this stuff. Now, did Abraham make that for himself? No, the Lord said, I will make you a great nation. And so we see that in obedience to the Lord, there was plenty. Now, Abraham didn't necessarily need all that, right? But he was following the Lord's commands, and so he was blessed. Thank you guys for joining for Genesis chapter 13. If you haven't already, like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next chapter.